So in an interview with Fox Business, CEO of Ripple Brad Garlinghouse was on and gave his thoughts on what he's thinking about Ripple versus the SEC case. And he said he'd only be interested in settling if there was one condition that was met. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what that is. There's also one of the top altcoin analysts in all of crypto. He's given his thoughts as to why XRP and two other altcoins are about to go crazy. I'm going to tell you what he said and why. And in the case of the SEC versus Ripple, Ripple just filed a letter to Judge Netburn today asking her to review a specific document, actually 3 specific documents that she's going to be reviewing in camera or in private, and one of which could be absolutely explosive. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this channel, we are covering the Ripple versus SEC case as well as other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any of those topics interest you and you want to follow along, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon so that YouTube will send you a notification when I release a new video. And if you're feeling generous today, I'd really appreciate it if you go ahead and do 2 things. Number 1, smash the thumbs up button. And number 2, watch this video all the way to the end. Those are really the 2 best things that you can do when you want to support a YouTube channel. So if you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, well, let's jump into it. So I want to talk about what Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, said on an interview with Fox Business yesterday regarding the case versus the SEC. He's obviously very bullish on Ripple winning the case, and he said that they just want an out-and-out victory. He said they have a very strong case, and if you follow my videos as well as some other XRP YouTubers, you know that that is true. When they asked about settlement, he said no, they are not interested in a settlement unless they had one condition met, and that would be that XRP gets absolute clarity on what it is on the go-forward basis, meaning it would be cleared as a non-security and would be put on level playing field with those already deemed non-securities. Since specifically with Ethereum, it matches up pretty closely to what Ethereum did when they got started. So ultimately, what Brad Garlinghouse wants now is basically to educate as much as possible the SEC, but also Judge Netburn and the rest of the public what the utility is of the XRP token and how it's actually used. And if you follow my channel and these videos, you'll see that the SEC's case against Ripple has to do with clarity revolving around what is and isn't a security. Ripple, of course, has their fair notice defense, which means there was a total lack of clarity. And you can see that regarding the SEC, especially in 2018, and even now, there is a total lack of clarity, which is of course why Ripple will likely win this case. Next, I want to get into what one of the top altcoin analysts, Altcoin Daily, has actually said about XRP and a few other tokens and what his opinion of them are in the near future. So he says XRP is about to go crazy, and if you've been following this channel, you can probably figure out why. It's looking more and more likely that this case against the SEC is going to become very favorable towards Ripple, which of course is going to unleash the price suppression that it's been under for the past year because of this case of the SEC. In fact, some people believe that there is in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 billion worth of market cap that's actually been stolen and suppressed for XRP holders just in this past year. But nonetheless, there's going to be some major clarity coming. But the other part of that, and this is my opinion here, is that XRP and Ripple are starting to get so much mainstream coverage. And if you watch my last video, I talk about all the different coverage they're starting to get on places like Fox Business and CNBC and some other places online that have actually been picking up this case and wondering what's actually going on with the SEC. So I believe that once this actually goes through, Ripple and thus XRP are going to benefit from so much mainstream coverage that once the rest of this bull market starts to really continue and push towards the end of the year, I believe XRP is going to be one of those household names that really the only ones that are going to be getting more coverage is probably Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as I've been saying for, well, probably about the past 3 months, I think XRP is going to see some of the biggest benefit from the rest of this bull run and market cycle. But they're not alone. Altcoin Daily also pointed out 2 other coins that is also set to go crazy because of some big news that recently just came out. Now, the first one is Internet Computer, which is actually Definity Foundation's program, because what they're actually building right now is actually a global computing platform where they're actually building smart contract functionality specifically for Bitcoin. Now, this is huge because previously Bitcoin didn't really have any of the functions that smart contracts would allow it. But actually, once this is actually built out and launched, Bitcoin will be able to be involved with things like lending, yield farming, derivatives, and liquidity pools, and different things like that. And as Altcoin Daily pointed out, this is something that's extremely bullish. When you're actually building out major functionality that the biggest cryptocurrency in the world can actually benefit from, that alone puts you on the map. The other one he mentioned is Chainlink, which I've actually pointed out in several of my videos over the past couple of months, one that I've had an eye on for quite some time. They were actually recently chosen by ColdStack, which is one of the largest cryptocurrency cold storage companies out there. They chose to partner with Chainlink because what Chainlink will allow them to do is actually utilize hybrid smart contracts to interact, which is an on-chain smart contract, to interact with offline or off-chain cold storage cryptocurrencies. ColdStack was essentially heaping a bunch of praise onto Chainlink and saying, this is really the only partner for us. So those are some of the reasons why you might want to keep those two coins on your radar. And finally, we have some news about the Ripple versus the SEC case. And just like every single update I give, this seems to be about information that should break the case wide open or essentially end this case soon, at least if you're using common sense. So Ripple filed a letter to Judge Netburn earlier yesterday, and in it they asked Judge Netburn to review 3 specific documents from Appendix A, which she said she would, to do these reviews of these documents in camera, which means in private. Which means the SEC has to submit the documents to the judge, but Ripple will not get access to seeing them, just the judge will. The SEC, of course, has pushed up against that, but nonetheless, they still have to submit the documents to the judge. One of the documents that Ripple wants the judge to review happens to be an email. Now, that email chain, now allegedly, supposedly, this email was sent to a third party, Andreessen Horowitz, and in it they were supposed to follow some specific analyzations, which would interestingly become Bill Hinman's Ethereum is not a security opinion speech. That's really interesting. Remember in my last video when I was talking about all the people and the organizations that went into formulating Bill Hinman's opinion? Yeah, the judge is actually going to see that email chain now. And so as people online are really fighting about what a security is or isn't, I mean, is it a digital asset, is it a commodity, is it a hybrid, is it all three, including Michael Saylor, who recently had an argument with Raoul Pal about what a security is or isn't. And that's really not what this case is all about. The SEC has established that they believe Ripple was selling XRP as a security. Whether or not XRP is a security, that's still up for all kinds of debate. Needless to say, it doesn't exactly fit into the definition of a security from 1934 when they first adopted it. So that's why if you're watching this video and you're following some of the XRP community on Twitter, seeing all the documents that they're unearthing about what the SEC was saying and doing in 2018 versus the actual lawsuit that they're bringing against Ripple, it's really going in Ripple's favor. There's a possibility they could lose. The judge may give the SEC the victory, or they may come to a settlement. But as I said in the beginning of the video, Brad Garlinghouse isn't going to do it unless XRP gets absolute clarity. But if you're new to the channel and want to follow along with those topics, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit that bell notification icon, and also check out the community tab. I put up polls up there on a weekly, sometimes daily basis. Want to know your thoughts on the Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as other cryptocurrency news. Once again, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.